take away like all the comforts, right?
Yeah.
And like really discover who you are.
Like this kayaking sport was something that saved your life.
100%, yeah. You're trying to preach me out of something you haven't even done. So you don't even know if it's possible.
Yeah.
And it's possible.
Live.
And welcome to the Savage Mountain Podcast. I'm your host, Quan Mickel, with my esteemed co-host.
Hello, beautiful people.
This show is brought to you by Neo Life Physical Therapy and Wellness, Neo Fit, led by yours truly, also Neo Golf, because we do hold the mantra that they are weird. They are weirdos on the other side of the moon. They are. That is Neo Golf. And then also a big shout out to the one and only Chelsea Ellis and Neo Nutrition, because that's my friend, and she brings candles, and I enjoy her. So she's going to get a shout out. Go Tigers. All right, so with that being said, this is our 1 year of doing this. Actually,
1 year. 1 year tomorrow.
1 year.
Yep.
We had some goofballs in here. We had some athletes in here. We had some extreme athletes in here. We had some Olympians in here. We had some mothers, some police officers. It's been a gumbo of absolute awesomeness that people just want to have just a good conversation with us. And that's derived through just being good people. Mm-hmm. Good people just helping good people.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in, listening, supporting us along this way. We're still nowhere, but I feel like definitely have made an impact in a year's time, and it feels good. Feel very blessed and fortunate to be able to do this with you, Quan. And here's to another year, brother.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Just had to get that out there.
Thank you, man. That's good. See, this is genuine love. On camera and off camera. All right. So, thank you for being so quiet during that long.
Yeah, sorry for our guests.
Yeah, so today we bring to you the magnificent Lauren Byrd. This started off as a random assignment that's become a consistent blessing because she's just walking wisdom and just the good in the world. And whenever you find people like that that's genuine and authentic, you want to like try to keep a hold on to them because it's crazy out there. So,
Y'all are all sweet and kind to each other and to me. Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
yes,
Thanks.
indeed, man. So with that being said, we've given like a bad intro, but could you like expound or like build off of that intro? Like let us know who you are.
I'm still figuring that out. So, from D'Iberville and, kind of been so lucky to travel the world, and I got into adventure sports. So I do whitewater kayaking. I compete in the Masters division at the World Championship, and then I travel internationally, competing in the senior division in a crazy, fun, epic sport called freestyle kayaking, which is this like itty bitty boat that does like all these flippy floppies in like holes and waves, and doesn't make a whole lot of sense to a lot of people who are especially down here, because my boat like makes me go upside down a lot. But it's been so much fun.
Man, and that is with the athletes that we have. They're I'm gonna say like it's been a need for more than just what we've been conditioned to believe that the South has to offer. Yeah. Like being just football, baseball, ladies, softball, cheerlead. But now
there's so much. There's so much, like, even with like the Winter Olympics that's kicking off right now, there's many days where you just watch it and you're like, what is that? And then there's so many sports that don't make it to the Olympics that are even just absolutely incredible. Yeah. And then, there's some, actually, I just recently learned, like, I think it's trekking. Trekking is only available for men. It's not available for women in the Olympics.
And what is trekking?
It's like
Star Trek?
I wish. No, it's like long distance with skis, and then you also have to jump with skis. It's like, from what I understand, it's like the triathlon of like skiing, like multiple events. And it's absolutely incredible. where there's like a brother sister who's in it right now, but the brother got to qualify and the sister did not because it's not open to women, which is really interesting.
Wow.
I know, but beyond that, like all the other sports in the world that have not made it to a world platform or even a national platform are pretty incredible.
Yeah. So like, and this is nowhere near to what you're like, I guess like the niche group that you have. I always thought like kayaking was like a day drinking endeavor.
Oh no.
That's what I'm saying. So like whenever the assignment, and I'm being so sincere and like, because whenever Jessica presented it to me, it was presented as an opportunity. Hey, Quan, I have this person that's want to do this, and I'm like, all right, so I get all nervous, and then she's like, it's kayaking.
Yeah, I know.
All right, how am I do this? Like, what is this? And then, so I was like, I never thought of it as like a sport, but then I also didn't think Frisbee was a sport. And then that's something that I've kind of like consumed. Like it's my week, we've built something that I'm very proud of with that. How did that stumble upon you with the kayaking? Because mine was like, my wife didn't want to be in the gym no more, and I had to find something to do.
So for me, like I went on my deployment and it didn't go as well as like,
What branch?
I was in the Army. Army National Guard, Mississippi, deployed.
All right.
Life didn't give me like the plan, the vision board.
Yeah.
None of the vision board came true. So I came back stateside and I entered in like the soldier recovery unit. Mm-hmm. And part of that, like not only are you trying to get well, both physically, you're trying to get well mentally because, congratulations, your career's over. Like, what do you do? And they introduce you to like horseback riding and Frisbee and bicycling and like all these extracurriculars that in that time in my brain, I was like, no, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
That's stupid, And, the chapter ends, new chapter begins, and they're like, so we're going to put you on a kayak. I'm like, okay. And we're going to put you in a kayak and a swimming pool. Yeah, talk about judgmental. This is the silliest thing I've ever heard of in my life. So here I am, I get in a kayak in a swimming pool at Fort Benning, and it wasn't a day drinking kayak. It was a whitewater kayak. So that's my first introduction of like kind of in a weird way being attached to a boat. Like you have to wear a skirt, the skirt attaches to the boat. And then we're going to flip you upside down. I'm like, we're going to do what?
Yeah. No.
We ain't do, wait. So in my first like pool session, I learned how to flip a boat from upside down, right side up. So I was like, that ain't too bad. All right, whatever. And then I got introduced on my first kayaking trip down the Nantahala River, which is in North Carolina. And I think on like that 5 mile stretch, I think I swam all the bodily functions and not proud moment. Like imagine 2-year-old, 3-year-old temper tantrum, but in an adult body.
Yeah.
It was a fireworks show. It was pretty bad. Like it was a moment in my life that I look back and go, well, I sure did act out.
Yeah. People die doing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then 1 week later, I bought a boat.
Oh. Yeah, but you could die driving your car.
But you don't think about it. Like, it's
different for sure.
Like what you associating, like, because whenever I see a lot of times, man, they be like, man, you had the stereotypes. And it's not the water, it's just like what's in it. And then the more that you learn about it, like, man, water can do so much whenever it feels the need to.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful thing in life because it moves. It's a part of us. Like life, it doesn't stop. And life has like, the boulders and the chunders and the waves. And, the more you can relax and just kind of go down the river or go down the stream of life, like work with it. Don't fight it.
Don't fight it.
No.
What stage do you get to that? Because that's maniacal. You have to have some kind of way of like just being, it has to be that where you're like, you know what, I could die doing this, but I'm going to find the good in this situation. And I'm going to get really good at this where I don't even think about the danger of it.
I think for me, it was like the first time I went down a pretty big rapid pretty early on. And, my brain just say it kindly, was broken. You know, in my day-to-day life, all I could think about was like wanting to end my life, you know, like that car wreck or that tree or that bridge or that like opportunity. And then I'm like strapped to a boat going down this rapid going, oh gosh, I just want to live, paddle harder. I don't want to drown. I don't want to die. And it was like the most epic light switch for me. And then I just started exercising, like bringing that thought pattern back up that I've got to make it down this river because I don't want to drown.
So this sport saved your life.
100%.
What would have dabbled that in there?
Well,
You just casually just throw that shit in there.
That's impactful.
It is. So this happiest person, all I see like you just a beaming thing of joy.
Yeah.
You know?
it's a choice.
What you always tell me, don't be, or everyone has a reason.
Everybody has a reason. Everybody has a reason.
And this whole time, like you've been down that path where you wanted to unsubscribe.
Yeah, we have Control Alt Delete. Like, let's go.
Lauren,
Quan,
I appreciate you.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that's not necessarily easy to just put out there, you know?
You know, it wasn't easy in the beginning because like anything else, like it comes with shame or it comes with guilt. And I think we all carry that shame or that guilt in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. And once I realized, like for me, like I can't change it. Like I've been working on changing like the chemistry in my brain. I've been working on changing like the habits. But, you know, the worst thing sometimes we can do is like deny who we are. And that was who I was. That's a part of my history. It's a part of like my struggle, and I don't want to deny it. I want to embrace it and get back in the boat because the boat has led to so many incredible doors opening up. Like me being here, me being, you know, going to Germany and competing in the World Cup and Argentina and the Argentinian Cup. Like if I wasn't in that like chunder and that water and like that dark spot, like and didn't grow through it, like God, I would be a totally different person today.
Dang it, man. In a small town, D'Iberville, that's what like you never know what's going on. You're definitely the person that they like who checks on the person that's always smiling.
Yeah, nobody does.
Nobody does, and that's why like even I don't know. That's why like I try to make it a point to whomever, whenever, however, just try to leave like not even like knowledge on them, but just I really like being mindful how you make people feel.
It's important
because
everybody has a reason.
Everyone has a reason, man. And you in a sport, and most people like try to do from like combat sports. That's not my thing because of, like I don't know how to turn that switch off and to use fighting as sport.
Yeah.
I can't do that, and I don't wanna like engage. I respect people that do that, but that's just not me. I can't fight for sport. And most time, like for you had sport like this kayaking sport was something that saved your life.
100%, yeah.
Damn, dude, that's pretty remarkable, man. That's kind of awesome, and it's hard to pivot off of.
No, I mean, no, but it's super cool, and it's like it's given opportunities and like little things that I never expect, and it's been like super rad. But going back to like the first day I walked in and introduced myself to you or anyone else from down here, it's like, so what do you do? And I'm like, well, I'm kind of an athlete. And it's like, all right, well, you play cornhole, and I'm like, no, I'm a kayaker. Oh, that's cool. I got a 6-pack and I got a boat I just got from Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's not my kayak, but it's awesome. Like I appreciate it. And, I'm so glad because like even in the kayaking world, what makes a kayaker a kayaker? Is it the boat you get from Walmart or Tractor Supply? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you can kayak that, or you can be on these like crazy high end boats, which I'm grateful to have some of them. But I'm no different of a kayaker than somebody who goes out on the weekend. But I just take my sport. I mean, they take their sport seriously, and that's fine. Yeah. I take my sport seriously in a different way. and, through the waterways of the progress that I do, or, maybe my goal setting is a little bit different. And that's fine. I get to see some of the craziest places in the world, and that's cool because, like, gorges, like in the middle of mountains where, like, the water comes through, like, you can be down there and see, like, eagles and birds and, like, all this different stuff, and, like, you can't get there by, like, a car. I wish you could. Man, sometimes I'm carrying the boat down in these places, and it's not fun. It's part of being an athlete, but...
Yeah, can you touch on, like, the traveling aspect of the sport? Because obviously, like, right down here, we don't have like, I feel like you go out in the water, nothing's going to interest you because this is boring water. But I feel like you have to travel a lot to get to these places.
Yeah.
Carry the boats with you. So you mentioned you have an RV.
Yeah, so it's all a choice.
Yeah.
It's all a choice.
Lifestyle. It is a lifestyle.
Totally. So, like, I chose to kind of minimize my lifestyle and kind of get rid of everything that wasn't important, or if it was important, put in a storage unit. Bought an RV and said, let's go. And, like, literally, like, let's go. And, through that, I ended up building a website of, like, all the kayak events in the USA. So now, like, I'll be here for 3 months, which is epic. Visiting with the family, not being on my diet as I probably should be, but, getting to enjoy Mardi Gras and all of those things. And then I'll hit the road, do the Southeast tour. Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, and then go over through Colorado, hit a bunch of events there. And it's a choice. It's not necessarily always an easy choice because, like, I don't have, like, an American couch. I don't have an American TV. I don't have, like, bedrooms per se, but I can park in a Cracker Barrel anywhere I want,
Yeah.
And I can, wake up and see, like, the sunset in a different place. So that's been incredible and challenging all at the same time. But it'll really tell you who you are.
Right.
It'll really tell you, like, how many pairs of shoes you need. Because you
don't.
No.
So with this nomad approach, how was that to present that to and you're a grown ass woman, but you still have your parents as well. So, like, whenever you present that to people, like, look, this is what I'm gonna do. This is, your passion, your purpose. You find that alignment and then you run with it. Because most people will be afraid due to how they have a sense of normalcy and what we've been conditioned to. And if you obscure from that anyway, it's kind of like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how was that? Especially like.
So the conversations are always fun. My parents were kind of like, I remember one, like, love you, Mom. I remember one time going, well, she chose this lifestyle. We don't understand. And then eventually I took her down the Nantahala and she was like, I get it. I was like, what's wrong, Mom? What is there a rock? Like, what's wrong? And she's like, no, I get it. And I was like, what did you get? She goes, I understand now. It's so pretty. And I was like, all right, we're good. We're good. So, like, my parents have been, like, super amazing through this whole process. They travel a good bit and they have a motorhome themselves. But definitely people who don't, they have that American, like, house, picket fence, like, why are you doing this? And then I just have to challenge with, like, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Well, and then you hear the, like, man, I wish I could go here or there. And I'm like, well, I can. Why can't you? Well, it's great, like, we want to get our hair done and our nails done and have all of these extra expenses. Like, I don't have Netflix. I don't have, like, all the subscriptions. I don't have, let's talk about mail. Mail sometimes can be quite difficult. So I can't, I can't do, like, these box subscriptions or, like, all of this stuff because I'm here and then there and then there. So it really makes you minimize, like, your choices. So it's hard.
Yeah.
And can be judgmental all at the same time. But I honestly don't think I'd have it any other way. And I think the hardest thing was to, like, pull the plug and, like, even within my own fear, working through that, like, I'm going against the grain. I'm going to do something new. How am I going to achieve this? And then having all of the naysayers, like, who have not even done this, saying you shouldn't do this. And it's like, but you haven't done it, so you don't know it. You're trying to preach. You're trying to preach me out of something you haven't even done. So you don't even know if it's possible.
Yeah.
And it's possible.
That's awesome, because it's like a very entrepreneurial approach, but it's packaged differently.
Yeah.
You being you is kind of like almost, and it's not race baity, but it's just like the conversation people have about like the quarterback now, like with Lamar Jackson, like, no, he does the same thing, but it's just packaged differently. You know, you having this is like, you fit the mold of what I would see like in the football stands, but you're the parent of said this kid, and you have your job, and then you make sure everybody have their lunches and stuff like that. But then you open your mouth and we take the time to listen and have a conversation, which is a lost art. And we're having that human interaction. You experience Lauren in real time. You're like, oh shit, no, she's not that at all. So why did I have this preconceived notion and this belief that this woman was this? When you're traveling, you're doing your thing, when it should be in a 21-year-old like YouTuber. Yeah. But instead it's you.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, I have to be me. Like, you have to be you.
Yeah.
And like, I'm trying to be true to that.
And so you're discovering your most authentic self, and there's no timeline on that. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of it's like you thinking from a chronological standpoint, like, all right, I need to have this at this time. I need to have this at this time. And you continue to be structured like that when it's like progression isn't linear.
No.
And that's one of the biggest things that I'm getting from you, is that progression isn't linear. Discovery, like you still have time to do this, but just like be joyful, be grateful for the journey.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Oh, it's fun. And then like, the greatest like strength that you can give yourself, beyond vulnerability, is like discomfort. Take away like all the comforts, right?
Yeah.
And like really discover who you are. So like, sleep with the blanket because you don't have heat. Sleep without a blanket because you don't have air conditioning. Find those things that create that discomfort, and then, put myself in an RV traveling the U.S. and now like you're really uncomfortable because like, you're trying to figure out and manage like, all right, I only have so much water in my water tank. I only have so much room in my refrigerator. I only have so much. And it really like hones it in of like, I don't have the couch. I don't have like all the warm and fuzzies, and it's solid.
And it's not even, and we mentioned this a few times off camera. This not even like a domestic thing. You've done this international as well. Mm-hmm. Like, what's the wildest thing since you're traveling? You was in Argentina before you got here, and where else you been?
Well, this year, Poland, Germany, Czech, France, Argentina, and 9 states in the U.S., all within 2025.
Oh, I was going to say, hold on, it's just February. You said this year. All right, you talking about 2025?
Yeah, we're February, but like within 2025, like that's the list.
Got you. What's the wildest thing you've seen there?
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, we got time.
Well, like on the travel.
Too bad you said we don't, but yeah.
Well, I think the wildest thing throughout like all of my travel is just people. Like, and what I mean by that, like, you can travel all the world, and the common denominator is like the people and how people choose to live and what brings people joy. And I can tell you, like, I've been to some like the poorest places, and they have like the greatest joy. And then I've been to the places that have like all the bougie, and people are still wanting more. So like when I sit back and go, oh, that's wild. Like, to me, that's wild. Like sitting back going, wow, how is that? Or like, how much sugar is in American food, and when you go to other countries, like it's not there, and it's like, wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
Okay. There's definitely like one of my favorite things to do is read the news to find out like what's important to people or what's important to communities. And that's always, very enlightening of what's important.
Yeah.
So every place is different. Food is different. Importance are different. And it's a stark difference sometimes from D'Iberville, Mississippi.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, good old mom and pops, D'Iberville, Mississippi. It's changing. It's changing. It's changing. There's always, you can see like a reluctance to change at times with certain things, but
sometimes like that's okay. Like not changing also reminds me like I'm home, and yes, there's some things I would never want to change about D'Iberville. You know, if we took away like a po' boy, like would it be South Mississippi anymore?
Yeah, no, we're not. We ain't doing
like
that.
like the food, like we need to hold.
The cuisine.
We need to hold on to that because that's what makes it so special. And finding the things that make a region special, and just really making sure that those aren't, there's a word, but like, you know, we don't need to thin that out too much. Some things we need to hold on to, and I think food here is something we got to hold on to.
Yeah, dude, you can water down. You don't want clam chowder from Mississippi.
Oh, please no.
I heard they got Popeyes in Boston. I said, I know that's terrible.
We don't do that.
No. Shout out to Boston. I got a friend that's in Boston. He's pretty cool. He's short and he curses up a storm. And they said it's very Bostonian of him.
Yeah,
to do
Boston-like,
that. Yeah, very Boston-like. So as far as like with the kayaking, you are a competitor, active competitor, but also you are a pioneer of this sport. In a sense, no, maybe so.
There's so many great kayakers, because if you look at kayaking, it's an Inuit sport.
What that mean?
That means before we were here, way before we were here, that was a mean of transportation, and it was a means of providing for the family. So hunting and fishing, with the Native Americans. So it definitely is a much older sport than we give it credit for.
Pocahontas, damn. She was all right. As you talking, I'm like, all right. I'm rolling through. Okay. And when you said Native American, the beginning, the scene.
like long time ago.
Yes, Pocahontas.
So if we go back to that, like let's truly go back to the grounding of that. All right. So you have transportation with a canoe. It's an open canoe.
Mm-hmm.
And then they traveled by season.
Yes.
Then you have me, and I travel by season in a kayak. So I'm like, all right, the picture's coming together.
Yes.
Like I'm getting back to like joy.
Yeah. All right. So back then you were truly time traveling with this way of going about navigating the United States.
I'm working on it. Not with a buffalo or horse though.
No.
We have the RV. I like the air conditioning. Pioneer. I don't know if I would necessarily say pioneer, but I would say like, I'm definitely older in the sport. So I'm 41.
Okay.
And you find in the extreme sports, so I'm going to take it as extreme. It's in GoPro games, it's in natural games. Red Bull looks at it. There's quite a few Red Bull athletes in it. You don't necessarily look at the sport and go, oh, yeah, I'm 40. I'm going to start a new sport. And I'm actually going to be moderately successful at it. Well, hi, it's okay. It's okay to do some of the hard things.
That is hard, but it's like one, you threw out a gorge, and I don't know if a lot of people know what that means. I recently found out about it because it was like in a horror movie. I don't know what a gorge is. And so when you throw things out there like that, and then you say you got to carry this damn thing all the way down there before you even get to the event. Like if I need to go to a football field, I just pull up to the parking lot. There's a basketball course there everywhere. But for you got to go to these exotic locations to meet your maker.
Well, kind of. Like, some places are easier. Like Montgomery has a whitewater park, and so does Oklahoma City. So you can park your car and just essentially walk your boats in. But if you're like, I did West Fork of the Tuck Gorge, which is up kind of close to Cullowhee, North Carolina. And in order to put your boat in the water, you have to hike your boat. So I've got like 80 pounds on my shoulder, and I'm hiking 2 miles in to the put-in. So like the hard part's getting there. Like you spend almost sometimes more like walking into a place, and then you get in your boat, you go down the river, and then you got to hike it back out.
Bears.
I paddled with my first bear this past summer.
I knew it.
And I was so excited. And it wasn't a hard river. It was, it wasn't the French Broad. Maybe it was. No, I'll have to think of it. So I'm paddling, and it's like this little bitty cub, and I was more excited about the cub than I was the river. And like, people I was with are just like paddling down, and I'm just like, it's a bear. Like, this is a dream.
Black bear, grizzly bear.
It was a little black bear.
No.
But like, it was Nolichucky was the river. And it's like the cutest little black bear on the side of the river. And it was like the dream of a lifetime for me. So like, I've ran like the 30-foot has been my highest waterfall so far. Doing kayaks are in classes, class 1 through class 5 in this part of the United States. And I've done the 5s, which are the hardest. And so like all of these things, and then there's a bear. So I've seen an eagle, I've seen a bear, I've seen rabbits.
Snakes.
I've seen snakes. Otters, the otter was kind of cool last year paddling in the snow. But the bear was the icing on the cake. Like all the dreams have been met.
Can you break down what makes it a sport? Because earlier you said like you're touring. So if there's like a PGA tour kind of gig. So is there like a scoring system? Is there because when I think of tour, I think at the end of this tour, someone's first place. Yeah. Is there like a ranking system? Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. So very excited to have the Southeast tour this year. So it'll be Rock Island, Tennessee, Montgomery, Whitewater, Bryson City, North Carolina, Nantahala, and Columbus, Georgia will have 2 locations. So it'll be 5 competitions. Ooh. And within that 5 competition ranking, you'll be judged individually for each event. And then from a combination of that will be, the kind of the title holder. And then Colorado does the same thing with multiple locations. And then in Europe, they do the same thing with, multiple events. So at a kayak competition itself, you get, depending on, there's a couple criteria. So you either have a hull dynamic or a wave dynamic. You have 45 seconds or a minute to complete as many tricks in the feature as possible. So you can do like spins, front flips essentially, and there's a bunch of other names. A lot of the names kind of equivalent into like skateboard names or ish, McNasty, Phonics Monkey, some very unique names. And then those names.
Look up some names.
And then the completion of the trick is a pointed value, and then the points are added up, and that's your completion of your ride, your scoring. And then you have a bracketing system, same thing like a lot of other sports. So you have, semifinals, finals, moving up, and the bracket gets shorter until you get to the main event, which is your top tier rides.
Yeah.
And then in the U.S., I would say we have kind of growing the sport in a way. So we have our cadets, which are our littles, and then you have the juniors. And cadets are broken up in male and female. Then your juniors, male and female. Senior women and men, male and female, and then masters is 40 and up.
And you are a master.
I compete in both the masters divisions and the senior women's divisions.
Are some tricks worth more than others? Because I could see myself, okay, if I'm getting scored off of the completion of a trick, regardless of how sloppy or I don't know the specifics, but I'm going to do the easiest trick over, and just start racking up.
Spam it.
Yeah. So way kind of back in the day, that kind of was like how tricks were the spin it to win it, essentially. Yeah. So just do spin and spins. Well, we have what's called the International Canoe Federation, and they monitor like the scoring. So the harder the trick, the point value changes. So visually, let's talk about like gymnastics, right? So if I was to do a front flip or a front roll on the ground, you're in full contact of the ground on a front roll, so that would be smaller points. If you did a front flip in the air, you get greater points. And then if you do a front flip like 20 feet in the air, it's greater points. So it's the same trick, a front roll, front flip, but the completion or the difficulty of it you get bonuses for it.
Okay.
and then how technical the trick is, you get points for it. And then if you link them, you get linking as well.
Like a combo.
Yes, and you can combo like a bunch of different stuff. But that's really, it's like gymnastics, meeting, knowing, the water dynamic and being able to utilize that. And then let's not forget that you're in water. So some of the, monitoring your breath work to complete the tricks.
Yeah, when you say like the front roll, me knowing like, all right, she's in a kayak, just submerging yourself completely underwater and then coming back up, but like not looking like, those water faces where it's, you just having composure to do that over and over and over. Man, dude, I don't know. I'm just fascinated by the whole thing of a jig, man.
It's fun. It's different. But, when people say you do a front flip in a kayak, it's like, no, really. There's no way you can. And I'm like, all right, well, here's a video. Like, most of the time I have to prove, like, no, really. Like, here it is. Here, I'll show you. Or, it's possible.
So how is it, like, growing this sport? And what are we going to do to, like, continue to bring it to, like, different regions and attention? Because it's like lacrosse. It's a popular sport, but it's so regional based.
It's not really here. Rugby's not here.
Yeah, rugby's not. And then, like, little inklings where they have, like, people they have, like, little clubs here and there. But it's such pocketed in this group where it's, like, it's not out there like that. So how do you even have a desire to elevate this and put it, like, have it everywhere?
Oh, no, absolutely. You can make friends or grow friends, and like, I want more friends.
Yeah.
So like, let's get people in boats. So
is that the consensus of like people who do the sport as well? Like they want to see the sport. I guess everybody wants to see their sport grow, I guess. But is that like generally the consensus of, hey, we want more people to try this sport, try it out?
Yeah, but there's such a huge like entry level into it.
Yeah.
It's not like you can just go to a field and be like, here's a Frisbee or here's a football, or soccer ball. And within 5 minutes, with, 10 kids, we can play a game.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the case with kayaking. Like, step one, can you swim? Are you comfortable in water? Like, we have to go through a bunch of these, like, learning points before we can even go down a river.
That's true, because it is dangerous. Mm-hmm.
So, there's lots of clubs across the United States in kayaking. There's racing clubs, which are really epic. Some huge growth with like slalom being in the Olympics. So that's brought a lot of publicity to the sport. Mm-hmm. Freestyle, I totally want to see it grow. But there's other paddle sports. Like there's another paddle sport. It's going to sound like it's amazing to watch and scary. It's called squirt boating, but it's kayaking. And it's like basically being strapped to like a surfboard and trying to make it sink and make it spin in water. And you got to. It's one of those things like you got to watch it, and they go down rivers like class 5, big rivers, in this boat. But there's the gateway to get into it is difficult in a lot of ways, and of course I want to see it grow. And I teach, and I, anytime somebody comes to the river and they're like, "Teach me," I'm out of my boat instantly. Like, all right, let's figure it out. Let's work through it.
That's what made me ask the question, because it's like by the time we were done with our training session, you're like, I need you to, I'm like, man, she loves this, and I love to see people like have that fervor to like educate and bring attention to things. But also with going back to you, like some people are content with, and I find myself with the ultimate Frisbee thing. They're like, hey, man, Quan, you think, bro, we increase our skill set. You think we can travel to go play different people? And I'm like, I mean, they can come to us.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I'm pretty solid, like, where we're at right now. Let's grow this. Let's continue to make this area big, and then we can kind of branch out. But at the same time, it's like, how much time do you think you have whenever it's like when it's rolling, and you're having that momentum? How long you think you can sustain that momentum?
Go.
So yeah, That's the thing, yeah. You wanna when you feel that, you wanna like
Go.
sense it and take advantage of it. So that's why having these kind of conversations and speaking on what you're talking about with kayaking, it may be some people that just want to be like, are they good with that area, or you say that it's not. Where like if they're just in North Carolina and they have a good solid group in North Carolina, they're like, nah, someone else can take the mantle and push it in Colorado or somewhere else. But we're good here in the North Carolina area. We have our style.
No, I wouldn't say that
Okay.
because like kayaking, for
That's good.
for a lot of people, like a football field's a football field.
Yeah.
Like the markings don't change, the lines don't change, right? Well, when you get into kayaking, like to kind of describe this area, like there's the Mississippi River. Oh, that's cool. Then there's the Chautauqua River. Oh, that's cool. What's the next river? What's the next river? So the next thing you know, you realize you're either creating this list of like, well, that river is a goal because it might be a little harder for me. And then how do I achieve that goal so I can go down that river? And next thing you know, you got a list of like 100 rivers. And it's like, all right, now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
All right, well, if you're hungry, let's go.
Yeah.
And then it's so cool because like as I travel, like I want to, I'm going to this next state, you connect and you're like, all right, well, do you want to go down this river or that river? Absolutely. And you just make it happen.
Oh, man. You're going to do this before I do. I tell you that much, Badgie.
When we going.
You got it, man. Oh, Badgie's free.
I'll take the reins.
Yeah.
I'll take the reins. I've been kayaking like once and then canoeing a couple times. Canoeing is obviously different. And it's just peaceful being out in sport. Like now what you do when the water's going, I don't know how many miles an hour at you.
Yo.
And like, yeah, no, that's not the jam I'm trying to go for. But
Well,
going down a
but-
river, drinking a beer, that's my style.
She's like,
Today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe we can challenge that. But it's so amazing.
That's
I respect it.
Yeah, that's again like that's why it's so fascinating that it's like we found you. We've been blessed to be like, yeah, we know somebody that does it. Like I see, and I can like be with my girls and they could see like a random commercial. Cause that's the only time I ever like saw like kayaking, like on the stream, whitewater, where like it's some kind of I don't know. It's always like in a movie.
Yeah.
Or whatnot.
Oh my goodness. The movies.
It's always like in a movie, and now I can be like, okay, that's Lauren.
So every
I'm
kayaker
associated,
now
like,
is going to be
bro.
me.
It is. I'm telling you, like, till I am gone. Anytime there's any kind of kayaking is available to me, my lady Miss Byrd.
Yeah.
Oh Lauren, there we go.
Yeah.
Yep, you are that. You are that for me. Extreme kayaking.
It's fun. Well, let's learn. Let's get you on the water. And it doesn't have to be like the other thing that's really cool about kayaking is it is considered an adaptive sport, even whitewater kayaking. Like I've taken a student of mine who's visually impaired down a river, without limbs down a river. Like it's possible.
Yeah, that's the coaching part. I was finna say. You coach too.
Yeah, well, and it's relationship building and trust and it's also the boat. Like there's inflatable kayaks, which have a lot more stability. And then there's like creek boats and half slice boats. And like there's this whole like, list of kind of like spectrum of boats. And we just put you in the boat that gives you the most stability for what we're on. And let's learn some basic skills and go. And without, you have to wear a helmet. We wear PFDs. We wear like all the safety stuff.
Yeah. And we're getting close to wrapping it up, but it's so much I know this is gonna happen. Like once we get the roll, I'm like, man, how do we contain it? Because there's so much I want to say and so many questions that's not even geared toward kayaking. I just want to like as the human side of things of you. It's with the self-discovery and how you kind of evolve as a woman and like just the day-to-day life and then even with the sport, how do you feel like you can like be, I guess, not a voice of reason, but a voice of just like, I don't know, like encouragement to like, because you definitely have inspired me to even get more out of my shell, and I want to, I don't know, just do more. Like, how do you, like, what makes you get up every day and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do that. I want to just like inspire people.
I don't think I wake up to inspire people. I think I wake up. First person you have to wake up for is yourself. So I have to wake up for myself every morning, and then look at like what is that going to look like for me today. So like finding healthy habits that best fit you. So like the first thing I do in the morning is I go for a 30-minute mindfulness walk. No phone, no technology, none of that. Make sure I look at the sunshine, find it, and find gratitude. And then go, okay, so what, that 30 minutes is really like self-reflection. Like, where am I and what am I going to do? And then knowing, like, in the times that I'm uncomfortable, how am I going to find growth out of the discomfort? And sometimes that discomfort is like, how am I going to challenge myself by going into Walmart? Because sometimes, through trauma, little things can become big hurdles. So maybe it's Walmart, maybe it's, we just got, the Christmas holiday, maybe it's the Christmas holiday party, could be a sign of discomfort. And how do you get through that with grace and dignity, grounding, and finding those places? So really trying to hold on to those moments and look at them not as like discomfort, negative, run away, but as like discomfort, growth, and how can I do this? And it's okay. And then through that, just taking each step forward and finding like the momentum to challenge myself with more confidence. And then if I can challenge myself through more confidence in the discomfort, then telling other people that, maybe it was the people that told me like, you can't live in an RV. Now I'm like, well, I am. Yeah. And now what are you going to do to be uncomfortable? And it's okay. Like, what are you going to do to get out of that? Like, I don't want to say monotonous because everything has a purpose, but where's the growth, and really visualizing the growth of the people around you, and then finding that community, because, you are the people that you sit with. You are the people that are in your day to day. So if they're challenging themselves by reading and growing in their brain, or, working out in the gym, or trying to find personal growth, then that's your community. And if you choose to sit at the table with people who don't have that personal growth, like, it really has an impact on maybe your motivation. So either we got to pull the people from the comfort and realize like you have the power to make a change in yourself, go to the gym, or go find the sport, go find it. Or, just surround yourself with people that keep lifting you up.
That was well said.
That was well said, dude. All right, so it's kind of hard to follow up, but I got you. All right, so the key.
I have no clue. I'm still looking for it.
No, I want you to give me that story, but talk to Batchy on however you want to go about it. But the Good Samaritan story, just give me one more rundown and we'll end it on that one. Please do.
All right.
Please, man. I love it. I love it.
So the story, we had a conversation about it yesterday. And really, to me, this is like perspective. Like, there's... and I am not a scholar, so if there's anybody out there who's like, I went to seminary, and I'm like, I'm sorry I didn't, but this is what I take away from it. So there's basically this homeless person, right? And he's sitting there, and people pass him. You have basically, a person who has the key to the city who's passing him, and, passing him on the wrong, the other side of the road. And then you have this one person who actually shows up and like gives this homeless person, attention, gets them into an inn and makes sure that they're taken care of. Like, having the perspective to go, who should we be who should we give joy to and celebrate? The person who stopped, to help, the Good Samaritan to help this person, or the people that passed him? Do we judge them? Well, sometimes in our brain we want to judge the person that passed and didn't stop. But what if that person had the key to the city? And what happens if that person had, could have more influence over 100 people to make sure that they had water and they had the gates and they, the city could run? And it's difficult sometimes because we want to praise one person, but we don't look at the perspective of the other and their impact. And, just kind of holding on to, for me, don't be judgmental for each other and where they give their impact on other people.
Yeah.
I like that.
The perspective, because, the hero's plight, the hero's journey, but everyone's a hero in their own story,
right,
kind of deal.
Yep.
And hearing that, I'm like, oh, man, that's good. But anyway, amen. Thank you so much for being a part of this little shindig. Thank you for being our anniversary, our last for 1 year thing.
It's exciting.
And, how it just like organically just kind of built up to what it is. And thank you for being a part of it and being willing to be a part of it. So I like to give my solid handshake.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. And with that being said, we want to conclude the session. But again, thank you for coming this time. Hopefully we catch you next time. But please do not let it be your last time. And we're out.